Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be switching up my video style. I want to be able to bring better content to you guys and also be able to just be more myself, if that makes sense. Not that I was faking it before, it's just there's so much effort and energy that's put into vlogging like this and pretending to be somewhat of like the happiest go lucky person that you can be. I strive to be happy every day, but realistically I think this is going to be a better way to portray myself to all you guys. And it's kind of weird, man. I mean, I've been down in Florida for a year. I've made friends, but not like the friends that I had in Washington, if that makes sense. Nobody cares about car stuff or truck stuff, and which is fine, to each their own, but I haven't made the same amount of friends, and I've kind of made a relationship with, as weird as it is to say, this camera. I spend a lot of time with this camera. I spend a lot of time with my wife and everything as well, but I've made some sort of relationship with this camera and this YouTube thing, and it gives me the drive to do the things that I want to do on my truck and make it good quality for you guys. So with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoy the new style of content. I want to be able to do a little more, a little longer content, a little more in-depth, and just kind of be myself, and that's why I have this new microphone set up. I'm sure you can see that hanging on my hat. I just want to be able to have you guys hear me and not be able to have to scream across the room to make sure my microphone's going to pick it up, if that makes sense. So today's going to be a fun little video for me. I kind of want to move this channel into kind of like a restoration-ish kind of channel, a little more restoration. I want to make this truck as nice as it was the day that it rolled off the showroom floor, and obviously it's going to take some time. I don't have the resources to do it all at once. I still work a full-time job. I still do everything that everybody in the real world does too. I just make videos in my free time. So I think the goal for this truck, what I'm trying to accomplish, is I want to make everything as nice as it can be. So with that being said, the goal of today's video is going to be, we're going to be painting the axles on this truck, and we're going to be doing it with POR 15. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. It's a rust preventative, and it also pretty much breaks down the rust and makes it perfect to have a nice hard coating so that you don't have to worry about any rust in the future. So future plans with this truck is going to be painting the frame. I'm not going to pull the cab or the bed. Obviously, I don't have a lift in here, so it's kind of hard to do that anyways. But I'm going to pull the fender liners out and stuff like that. But the good thing with the Super Duty trucks is you can get to 90% or 99% of the frame without having to pull the cab. But the purpose of today's video is we're going to be prepping and painting both axles, the front and the rear, so that down the road in the future, there's not going to be any problems with anything rusting out, and it's gonna be nice. It's gonna make everything look good and clean, and I'm excited. So let's hop into it. So as you guys can see, it's still in pretty decent shape. There's a lot of new parts like the drag link, track bar, all that, but pretty much the whole frame, well, not the whole frame, but the whole axle is pretty rusted out. It's obviously rusty. It's not rusted out, but so what we're going to be planning on doing is getting a little bit of the axle painted tonight. So I want to really hit this section hard and make that section perfect and see how it looks, and then we'll move on to the rest of the truck. So I'm going to set you guys up on the tripod. It might be a little hard to see. We also might focus on the tie rod bar as well. See how rusty that is. Make sure not to get it on any of the threads or anything like that until we can replace it, but just to make it look nice for the time being, we might work on that. So here's the plan. If you buy the little kit from Pour 15, if you buy the little Pour 15 kit, it comes with its degreaser and its metal prep, and then it also comes with a little bit of the Pour 15 itself. But I have a big jug, so I'm going to use that. But cleaner and degreaser, pretty much the same as like Simple Green. Be able to get the grease off, clean it, have the best surface for the metal prep to come in. And the metal prep, basically what it does, you leave it on for like 10 to 15 minutes. You keep it wet for 10 to 15 minutes while it's on there. The main goal of this is it has a chemical reaction with the metal and pretty much layers like a zinc coating over the metal. And the zinc coating is what Pour 15 adheres to. So once you get all of that on, then you rinse it off, rinse the metal prep off with water, and then you paint a little bit of, well, you paint this all over. And if you're gonna do it on things with like threads and stuff like that, don't paint the threads because then you won't be able to adjust it any. So I'm just gonna do my best to make it look as good as possible for, you know, a garage DIY job, just to make it look a little better. But you're gonna paint this on, and it says to do it in temperatures above 70 degrees, which it is right now. I'm in Florida. But the biggest thing with this is it cures way better when it's humid outside or with moisture. So it'll be able to cure faster and harder, and it'll be better for the actual product if it's more humid outside. So basically my steps are going to be, I'm going to take some 3M Scotch-Brite, and this is a gray pad, and it's an ultra fine sanding pad. But I'm going to rub all the places to get a lot of the loose rust off, and then I will degrease it, wipe it off, spray it down, and then I will do the metal prep, keep that wet, and then rinse it off. And then once it's completely dry, then we will go ahead and paint the Pour 15 onto that tie rod bar, and then also do a portion of the axle tonight just to see how it looks, let it dry overnight, and then we'll check it out in the morning and see how it looks after it's dried. I don't know how long this takes to cure. So it says it is dry to the touch in typically 2 to 6 hours. And then you can top coat it with a top coat clear from Pour 15. So, like I said, my main goal is I'm going to be scuffing up the surface, cleaning off any loose rust, and then we'll clean degrease, and then we will metal prep, rinse off, and then once it's dry, we'll blow it off, and then once it's dry, then we will do the coating. So let's get to it. So with the metal prep, this is nasty stuff. So what I'm gonna do, obviously wear gloves, please. I don't want you guys to burn your eyeballs out or anything. I'm going to take an extra spray bottle cap that I have just so I can get it where I need to and spray it in the correct places. So basically I'm going to be trimming it down to size. Now that I got my spray bottle cap on there, I'm going to go spray the metal, and then it says to keep this, once you spray it on, to keep it wet with this for 10 to 15 minutes so that the chemical reaction can occur to create a zinc coating so that hopefully the Pour 15 will stick to it. So let's go try it out. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just doing the tie rod bar right now, and it's been probably like 7 to 8 minutes of it being on there. I've already sprayed it twice. So the directions say once you get it to this point and it's etching the metal and neutralizing the rust, what they recommend you do is wait 10 to 15 minutes to do this, and then get the metal prepped. And then they say to rinse it off with water so it'll neutralize the solution. And then At that point, once the part that you're trying to pour 15 is dried, then you go in with the pour 15 itself. And then once everything is dry, then you can paint over this. And it says that this should take 2 to 6 hours for it to be hardened. It doesn't say like a cure time. It just says the rust preventative coating may be recoated or top coated when dried at the touch. Typically 2 to 6 hours. So I chose to go with the gloss black approach. I think obviously with my wheels being gloss black and everything else being black as well, cab lights and all that, we should gloss black the frame and all open metal pretty much. Realistically, what they want from this, they want it to be completely bone dry. So take your time when drying. Make sure there's no water anywhere because that will ruin the coating. But so what that metal prep does is it etches the metal, neutralizes the rust, and gives the metal that it just etched a zinc coating. Not like a gold zinc that you would see doing hardware or anything like that. It's just a chemical reaction between that and the metal to get a little bit of a zinc coating so that the Pour 15 has something to stick to, and that's what it prefers to stick to, is sort of like a zinc finish. So for anybody who ever wants to do like black topped or gloss black topped zinc hardware, maybe you can take already zinced stuff and make it clean. So I was thinking about it. I think I'm gonna do just this as a test piece and see how it turns out, and then we can do the axle. But I kind of want to hold off on the axle until I get front and rear differential covers from Banks, just so they can be all one unit. And really, when we rebuild the front end of this truck, a lot of parts are going to get taken off and Pour 15'd and or sandblasted and powder coated. So I'm going to use this as a test piece, and we're just going to see how it works. You guys are going to find out with me. I've never used Pour 15 before, so pretty exciting. Let's give it a shot. So it should be just about dry enough. I think it's coming out of some of these spots just a little bit, which is okay. We can give it a little more time. Because the better you prep, the better these parts will come out. Believe it or not, it even says it on the bottle. The better you prep, the better the result. So, this is the Pour 15. And I will have all this linked down in the description box below as well for any of you guys that want to try it out. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. Hopefully when it's dry, it's going to be nice and glossy. It should be pretty smooth if I take my time, which I'm trying to. It does say on it to make sure that it says Pour 15 should never be shaken. It should always be stirred up. So I do have an extra paint stick over here. I'm going to go grab it. There is some thickness on the bottom, so yeah. Give it a good stir. I don't have the best track record with paints. I tend to always throw them on the floor. I don't want to do that. Just take our time. No need to rush. So hopefully it'll kind of look like that. And they do make a top coat, like I was saying earlier. It's kind of like a clear to enhance the gloss, but also further protect. But I'm just going to see how just the Pour 15 performs. and see if it's worth the hype. If it's a good product. I've heard good things about it. But all right, so I think what I'm gonna try and do is just get after it. Make sure we get all of this water up, all these fuzzies off. Make sure she's dry. So basically I just gave myself a little workspace here just in case I do drip. But I'm gonna start in the center, work my way over to this flange, and then work my way over to that flange just to see how it performs. So, let's get it. I would say that this product is pretty easy to work with. It doesn't drip a whole lot, so it makes it good for a little DIY if you don't have a shop or a big garage like this to do small parts, and then you won't, have a problem of dripping all over your floor going into your house and stuff. That looks pretty good. So that's just one coat on the front side. I do need to get the back, so I'm going to crawl under a little bit and see if I can't get it. Well, as you guys can see, I got it all the way around on there. That's why you take a light to it, because I missed a spot. Good morning. Quite weird, huh? I was in the garage working, and then all of a sudden, drinking coffee in the morning. You like my coffee mug? How cool is that? Well, you see what happened. My camera died. I was working away, didn't notice that my camera shut off, so when I was done, I went, oh, that's cool. So, put it on the charger overnight, I guess, and I will show you the finished product of a cured Pour 15 piece this morning. It looks pretty good. So let's take a peek. So there's the piece that we Pour 15 last night. I don't know if you can see it too well. There you go. But it's pretty glossy, obviously, because it's a gloss black. But that is a finished product of one piece. And now that I did that piece, you can really see how crusty that axle is and everything else. So these are going to get replaced, obviously, because I'm going to have to do tie rod ball joints and then regular upper and lower ball joints on there. But you just see how crusty everything else is. Hopefully at some point it's all going to look like that. In the grand scheme of things, I want the whole frame to be Pour 15, both axles, and then all the miscellaneous stuff that I can find. We'll paint it. Then once I start rebuilding the front end, I'll be taking everything apart, obviously, and then we could put we can paint it all, make it all nice. This is what I mean, and like you can see, obviously since it was a Northern truck, it has a good bit of surface rust here and here. Pretty much all the way around the frame looks like that. And then you get to the arms and a lot of surface rust. So the end goal is to have everything looking like that. And then I also said I'm going to change the diff fluid in that, but I'm going to wait until I get the Banks diff covers. But yeah, you keep going along the front and back of the truck, and you can just see, obviously it needs to be taken care of. So I don't want it to rust itself out. We'll see what we're gonna do with the leaf springs and everything. I don't know yet, but that is the main plan for the upcoming videos here soon. The interior is pretty much 99% done, so there's not much that we can do on the inside except for wire in a sub and some new speakers, but that's really about it. The interior is exactly how I want it. It's clean. It's, you know, there's no rips, there's no tears, there's nothing. Obviously there's wear marks from on the armrest from the captain's chairs from driving, but I'm going to start focusing on the exterior in the upcoming videos. So I think it's going to be a pretty awesome transformation, be some before and after pictures as well, and I'm just excited for the process. I think this truck is going to come a long ways from obviously what it was. It's already in a lot better shape than what it was. A lot more maintenance that needs to be done. There's a lot more parts that need to be replaced, but I think if we chip away at it a little at a time, we will obviously eventually get to our end goal. So I think I'm gonna end off the video here, guys. I appreciate everybody sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a different style of video. It does kind of suck that my camera died, but what are you gonna do? I'll make sure I have some extra batteries on hand for when we do the frame, and I can show you pretty much the whole process. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments of this new video style. I like it. I think it's a lot more me. Just to be able to hang out and talk with you, and obviously we have our mic here, so I can take you everywhere with me, which is nice. Stay tuned for some more exciting stuff coming along. Obviously we're going to be restoring this, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's also going to be time consuming because it is my daily driver, so restoring your daily is always a blast. But like I said, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and please let me know what you think of the new video style. I would love some positive feedback, or just your feedback in general. Alright guys, I'm going to end off the video here. Thanks for sticking around me to the end of this video. Let me know what you think of the new video style, and stay tuned for some more exciting content. See you guys in the next one. See ya.